Of all the things we inherit from our grandparents, recipes, stories, a quirky sense of humor, maybe even a box of dusty trinkets from the attic, few are expected to change our lives. They are cherished for their sentimental value, for the love they represent. For one young woman, a simple, forgotten gift from her grandmother was about to do just that, turning a lifetime of casual affection into a moment of heart-stopping, jaw-dropping shock on national television. It was a story that began, as so many of the best ones do, with a grandmother's thoughtful gesture. Prowling through the delightful chaos of a flea market or a weekend garage sale, she was a seasoned treasure hunter. She wasn't looking for gold or priceless artifacts, she was looking for joy, and one day, she found it in the form of a heavy, dark metal statue. It depicted a classical figure, something out of the myths and legends her family adored. Knowing her daughter and grandchildren, Porsche and our young hero of the day, shared a fascination with Greek and Roman mythology, she knew it was perfect. For a mere $15 or $20, the deal was done. The statue came home, a small token of a grandmother's love. But what do you do with a heavy, old statue that doesn't quite fit the decor? For this family, the answer was beautifully, hilariously practical. Its new, noble purpose was to prop open a door. For years, this bronze figure stood guard, its artistic details and hidden history completely overlooked. It endured the thud of the door, the casual kicks of passing feet, the swish of the vacuum cleaner, and the general indifference reserved for the most mundane household objects. It was, for all intents and purposes, just a doorstop. A rather fancy one, perhaps, but a doorstop nonetheless. The family figured if it was worth anything, it was probably worth the $15 their grandmother paid for it. Then came the day the Antiques Roadshow rolled into town. It's an event that sparks a little what-if in all of us. What if that old painting in the hallway is a lost masterpiece? What if Grandma's costume jewelry is actually real? Fueled by curiosity and perhaps a bit of a lark, the young woman decided to bring the family doorstop along. She likely stood in line, clutching the heavy object, feeling a little silly. Surrounded by people with carefully wrapped porcelain and centuries-old furniture, her humble doorstop must have felt completely out of place. She finally found herself at the table of expert Ernest Dumochel, a man whose eyes are trained to see the extraordinary in the ordinary. She recounted its simple story, a flea market find, a gift from her grandmother, a beloved family doorstop. As she spoke, Dumochel was already turning the piece over in his hands, his expression shifting from polite interest to focused intrigue. The weight, the patina, the craftsmanship, it was all telling him a story far grander than a garage sale bargain. Well, he began, his voice carrying the gentle authority of a seasoned expert. One of the problems that you've had when you were looking him up was that his first name is Pierre. He pointed to a faint signature etched into the base. Emile Hebert. The guest's research had led her to a dead end, but Dumochel held the key. So you had to know that this signature, which is here, Emile Hebert, is actually Pierre Eugène Emile Hebert. With just that one sentence, the doorstop began its transformation. It was no longer an anonymous object. It had a name, a creator, a pedigree. Dumochel continued, his excitement growing. He pointed out the exquisite details the family had never truly seen. What I like about the piece is that first of all it's bronze, and it has the gold doré inlays on it, which are very, very nice. Those weren't just flecks of paint. They were delicate, gilded accents, a mark of superior quality and artistry. Then came the historical bombshell. The expert located a date on the sculpture, 1867. This wasn't just any year. Dumochel explained that this very piece, this humble doorstop, had not only been created in 1867, but had won a gold medal at the prestigious Salon in Paris that same year. Suddenly, the statue wasn't just in a family home. It had a place in art history. You could almost picture it gleaming under the gaslights of a Parisian gallery, admired by critics and art lovers, a celebrated masterpiece of its time. How it journeyed from a Parisian salon to a Midwestern flea market is a mystery lost to time, but its glorious past was now undeniable. The young woman listened, her expression a whirlwind of emotions: shock, disbelief, and a dawning, giddy sense of wonder. The object she had casually stepped over for years was a piece of award-winning 19th-century art. The mortification was palpable, that feeling of you've been doing what with it. But it was quickly being overwhelmed by pure astonishment. Dumochel, knowing he was at the climax of the reveal, advised her to have it,